Good fine early afternoon to YouTube. Or Facebook, should I say. Ha 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 ha. Of course, if people are stealing my Facebook videos and putting them on their own goddamn YouTube channel without my permission, it's whatever. What up, peoples? Take a look at that. Take a look at my pipe bowl so far. Look at that. That's not too shabby if I do say so myself. It's almost done. You should remember last night's video where I talked about letting it dry all the way before I did the final step. I might be able to tell a joke, yes, here in a bit. But it's almost to the final step where I treat it and everything. I mean, my pipe is now dark green. I tried to get the paint on it as smooth as possible for the finish. And when it was dry enough, and still on the vice clamp last night, when it got dry enough to where I could just let it sit there without dripping on the carpet or anything, then the first thing I took out was the paper towels in here, and then just a few seconds ago I took out the paper towels up in here, and the pipe's unclogged. Right now I'm just I'm feeling it up here just to see, you know what I'm saying, just to see if there's any sticky spots. And it's still a little bit sticky, but not quite dry. I mean, it's dry enough to where I can handle it, and I'm not gonna get like paint all over my fingers. But it's still a little bit sticky. So what I'm going to do is I want to continue to let this paint dry just a bit longer. And then when it's done drying completely, I'm going to treat it. But yeah, there's my new tobacco pipe so far. Well, it's not new. I've had it for a couple months now, but this is the first time that I not only restained it, but before I restained it, I fixed the depth on the bowl so that it holds more tobacco like it's supposed to. Yeah. But so far, this pipe's looking pretty good so far. I'm going to set that down on my desk on top of my bandana so it's not getting any debris from my desk in the paint or anything. But yeah, I'm actually satisfied with how this is turning out so far. This is looking way cool, like a nice shiny dark green. This is actually looking really good so far. Now, as soon as it's done drying, I'm going to, the final two steps, when it's done drying completely, and it's like literally that close to being done drying. It's still a little bit sticky in places, but it's drying at least, you know. The final two steps will be to stick my pipe bowl in a glass of water, and then after sticking my pipe bowl in a glass of water, microwaving it for a couple minutes until the water is nice and hot inside the glass, and in theory sticking it into the freezer after that, and in theory that should do it. Getting it wet and then shocking it with hot water, and then going from hot water on the wood to a cold ass freezer. What that's going to do is it's going to shock the wood. The wood's going from super hot water to cold ass freezer, you know. I'm going to give it a couple hours in the freezer to get super cold after I use hot water on it. And then when I take it out of the freezer, I'll let the bowl warm up naturally to the room temperature. And when the wood naturally warms up to room temperature, then I can put my stem in and give this freshly restained pipe a new try. This freshly newly stained pipe a try, I should say. But yeah, my tobacco pipe is looking pretty good so far. Look at that dark green. I had just enough paint to cover it. I used the last of my dark green paint to do this. And yeah. Here's the thing, Slick. Did you know that Peterson makes a racing green pipe? And Peterson racing green pipes are freaking gorgeous. I've seen a Peterson racing green pipe that's shaped exactly like mine, but the bowl's a little bit bigger. And they're freaking expensive, to be honest. Like getting a tobacco pipe, sometimes tobacco pipes are fucking expensive, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen green pipes run for a pretty decent price, but doing this is a couple-hour process. I waited several hours after I did this last night for it to dry, for the most part. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a little bit sticky, but I'm going to give it, at 142, I'm going to treat it with water. And I'm going to treat it with heat and cold, basically. But yeah, I took my tobacco pipe that I've been smoking out of my billiard and I restained it. And I'm liking that. That's looking gorgeous. Now this top ring isn't going to last, obviously. It's going to burn off, but that's all right. Yeah. It's almost done, Facebook. That's looking way good. Now the first step to this was getting the bowl to actually function like a pipe should. And then fucking after that it was getting it sanded down. I sanded it with a very, very light sandpaper. The grit on this sandpaper was super light. It was light enough to take off the finish, but not heavy enough to start reshaping the bowl, you know, because I like the shape of this billiard pipe and I don't want the finish. I mean, I didn't want the shape of it to change, just the finish. And I didn't have tobacco pipe wood stain. They make that. There's a specific dye or stain that they use to stain your tobacco pipe. I didn't have that on hand. I know there's a lot of tobacco pipe companies, when they make their pipes, they have a stain room, and their staining room has different colors of stain. I've seen tobacco pipes that were purple, legitly. Yeah, people in the tobacco pipe industry are starting to discover you can use different colors for your pipes. Instead of your traditional black or brown or dark red or a light brown, or you know what I'm saying. But yeah, this tobacco pipe's looking pretty smexy so far. I'm about to do the final process of it at like 142, 143. I'll be all right. Now it's 12:44, so I'm gonna give it another hour to completely dry on the paint, and then I'm going to treat it with water. You know, speaking of tobacco pipes, yo, what up, Shane? What up, Steven? What up, Thomas? What up, Jessica? What up, uh, Sheets, Elliot, Clayton, Jerome, Richard, Elliot, David, Taylor? What up, peeps? What up, CJ? What up, Tina? But yeah, last night I was kind of restless last night, so I got bored and I sanded my tobacco pipe down, got all the finish off of it with a light sandpaper, and restained it my favorite shade of dark green. This is literally my favorite shade of green right here. This rich, dark green. You know what I'm saying? Freaking gorgeous. So if you don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a super expensive Peterson Racing Green pipe, you know what I'm saying? You can always take your own pipe and restain it. And I showed you how I did it last night. And it literally sat on the vice clamp because the paper towels I had stuffed in here to prevent paint from getting on the inside from on here and here. It literally sat on the vice clamp like that all night. And then halfway through the all night paint session right there, when it was dry enough, I took the paper towels out of here and then left the ones in here on the vice clamp until it got done drying completely. And now, I mean, it's pretty much dry for the most part, but I'm seeing a couple of spots where it's still kind of sticky. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna let that dry. And the reason why I'm treating it after it dries is because tobacco pipes naturally heat up. And now that I've opened up my pipe to where I can fit a full bowl of tobacco in here completely, just like, you know what I'm saying? Because before, I couldn't even stick my entire pinky in the bowl. Before, I could only get the tip in. And it's like, if I can only get the tip in, then chances are I'm not utilizing my full space on my tobacco pipe. So I was very finicky about fixing this last night. And yeah, this pipe's looking good so far. I'll let it dry a bit longer before I treat it with the final step. And I told y'all last night, did I not, that when I did the final step, I'd Facebook Live it. Speaking of tobacco pipes, check out this rustic smooth finish combination on this pipe right here. You got the smooth finish on either side right there, and then underneath as well. This is a pipe I'm not changing the finish of because I like the finish on this one. However, somebody else was using my pipe. You know, I let friends come over and try out my tobacco pipes. I'd load up some fresh tobacco for them. And then this happened. The bottom half of the stem snaps off. And when the bottom half of the stem snapped off, I took some sandpaper and I sanded it smooth to make it more comfortable to smoke with. And then the stem got super loose. Sorry, treated my stem. And now this stem's on there nice and tight. So, let's see. I just woke up and I need my morning nicotine, you know, or afternoon nicotine, if you will. It's 12:49. David Herrez is like, you get laid last night? Well, I'll neither confirm nor deny that. I'll also neither confirm nor deny that I went 4 rounds last night. I don't hear any complaints from my girlfriend in the bedroom. That's for damn sure. Oh, thanks, man. I think it looks good too. It's just about done. I'm letting it dry for another hour before I heat treat it with water and stuff. Oh my God. It doesn't smell nearly as good as it does in the original bag, but it still smells good. It's just a rich tobacco tape or smell. Makes my mouth water. Fucking makes my mouth water just smelling it, like straight up, like. And this pipe, after I fixed it right here, I fixed the mouthpiece a long time ago, and I fixed the stem a long time ago, so that's nice and tight. This backup pipe I've had this pipe for a long ass time. This isn't my first pipe, mind you, but I've had this pipe for ages. It's been years since I bought this pipe. Booyaka, booyaka. And this bowl is just a little bit bigger than the green one that I'm working on. But before, I couldn't even hold this in my mouth comfortably beforehand. So I did end up needing, like I said, I took sandpaper, and that bottom half of my stem that broke off on the mouthpiece, I basically sanded it smooth to make it easier to smoke out of, comfortable wise, you know what I'm saying? Huh. My religious symbol on the stem. See, I don't have paintbrushes tiny enough for that. Otherwise, I would. Josh, you should make a YouTube video about the pipe, bro. Oh, I plan on it. Once I get my pipe done completely, I'm going to make a video about it. I'll be like, hey, YouTube, check out my new pipe. Just kidding. It's the same one I've been smoking out of. Oh, I'm not itchy. Josh, how's work going? Seems like you've been doing well. Any chance of promotion soon? I really, I really can't get promoted, but I can get more hours. That's the only thing I can get. And, well, work is going well, yes. And they know if they need me on my day off, in case someone calls in, I can always come in and shit, but. Use a pen or a marker. Yeah, I don't have a Sharpie on hand, and unfortunately, if you're smoking out of a tobacco pipe, I think the heat of the wood would make the Sharpie come off, to be honest. I'm just speculating. I don't know for sure, though. Although if it's dry enough to where I don't feel, yeah, it's still a little bit sticky. I mean, it's dry enough to where I can hold it and it's not gonna come off on me anytime soon. And I was kind of pissed when, normally when people smoke a pipe, sometimes they'll, you know what I'm saying? They'll bite down on it, and that's how your stem breaks. When you're smoking a pipe, don't chomp down on your stem. You know what I'm saying? You want to take your teeth and, like this. You know what I'm saying? Very lightly clench it in your teeth. I'll be the first to say it. Look at my pipe stem. See that? No teeth marks. Look at that. Yeah. Sometimes pipe smokers, they have these rubber pieces that you can stick on the end of your pipe stem that prevents it from getting teeth marks. I've seen those. But if you don't want to go through the hassle of something like that, just be careful on, how you clench your pipe and shit. If you're just tuning in, here's the pipe from last night. Looking pretty good so far. It's still a little bit sticky, but it's not redonkulously sticky. And I'm letting it dry till about 1:43, almost 2 o'clock. And then by then, it should be ready for the final step. That's awesome, Dan. Yeah. That's looking pretty good. I don't know. I might water treat it right now, just because the paint's dry enough, I could water treat it with some, you know, yeah, why not? All right. The final step to staining my pipe, I'm going to shock the wood so that it absorbs it better. I'm going to stick my tobacco pipe bowl in this glass, just like that. I'm going to fill it up with water, and I'm going to microwave it so that the water heats up. And that glass ain't big enough. I need a bigger glass. Yeah, let's screw it up. Where's my I want to stick the pipe in my coffee mug because it's bigger, it'll hold it better. And I'll fill it up with water and microwave it. Yeah, there we go. That fills up, holds it much better. Even this cup's not big enough to hold it. I might need to grab a taller glass for this. Okay, you know what, Facebook? I'm going to take this crystal bowl and I'm going to use it for my purpose here because it's big enough to hold the entire thing. Fuck it. Now I'm going to take the pipe bowl and I'm going to soak it in water. It's kind of floating to the top. It's not really sinking to the bottom. But that's all right. When I microwave this bowl, it'll heat up and do its thing. So I'll be right back. I have more water to that. 6 minutes and 66 seconds. And at 3 minutes and 33 seconds, I'm going to stop it. And then I'm going to flip the pipe over onto this other side, and it's so that it heats up evenly on both sides with the water. Yeah. So I'm going to watch it real quick. I'll be right back. Almost at the 3-minute mark. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Facebook. Towards like the last 34 seconds. Towards like the last 34 seconds of that microwaving process, I had the bowl submerged in this cup in the bowl here. And right now my tobacco pipe is in the freezer. I still got the stem. And I'll go ahead and take care of this real quick. Alright. So I'll let my pipe chill out. I'm gonna let my pipe chill out in the freezer for a little bit. I just treated it with water. The bowl itself got really hot, and yeah. It was literally at 6 minutes and 66 seconds. And at 3 minutes and 32 seconds, I had to flip it over because it was on one side of the bowl with one little bit poking out, just kind of bloop, bloop, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I can do right now at this point is just wait patiently. You know what I'm saying? And leaving my tobacco pipe bowl in the freezer for a couple hours while it does its thing, you know. Yeah. It's not super hot though, and I assure you it's not gonna. Yeah, no, the pipe's not like ridiculously hot, but it's not gonna crack it if it's super hot. I don't think. So I'm not gonna leave it in the freezer for too much longer. Just long enough to make the pipe cold. Go from hot to cold real quickly. And then I'm gonna let the bowl air dry, and then I'll put the stem on, and we'll give it a go. You know, have a restained pipe. Any upcoming burger videos? Possibly. Well, just saying, David, it's my fucking live stream. If you don't want to watch it, then don't watch it. No one's sitting here forcing you to watch it. And I'm not gonna boil my pipe bowl in a pot of hot water on the stove. That's too intense. You know what I'm saying? But by the time I get done smoking another bowl of pipe tobacco here, my pipe should be done chilling in the fridge. Just a quick treatment of heat and then cold. Well, I appreciate that, you know. It's just she should be coming over sometime today to work on my tattoo, to answer your question. I would agree, most definitely. It doesn't need to be in the freezer too long because I don't want the wood to crack, but just long enough to shock treat it. Yeah, but it turns out it was just, you know, I said that before I realized it was the wrong kind of ink. Oh, her phone was off. And it was so dead that it needed to be charged. So, yeah. And actually, it's not going to crack the wood if I leave it in there a bit longer. Even if I left it in there a couple hours, it wouldn't crack the wood. I've done this kind of thing before to tobacco pipes. I've had experience, my own personal experience, restaining tobacco pipes. I figure out what works and what doesn't, you know? And I did kind of dry it off a little bit before I stuck it in there, so it's not just soaking wet when I stick it in there. But I don't think she has, and Summer quit smoking, to be honest. She'll only smoke on occasion. But if I'm smoking a black cherry delicioso robusto cigar, which those are pretty fucking good, mind you, and if she wants to try a drag of it, you know, I'll gladly share. And if she likes it, I can always get her one, you know. But yeah, those black cherry delicioso robusto cigars, oh, delicious. You know, Claudia, I'm not sure how to answer that, to be truthful. I guess. That is no joke, Leonard. Like, literally, if you meet Steve, he's the kind of person that'll tell you within the first 3 to 4 sentences of meeting him that he fucks goats. And, well, I guess for some people it's a little weird, but it's whatever. For some people, that is a little weird for some people, but it's not my life, so, you know. Well, not according to Steve. According to Steve, the female goats he's done it with, when they're the right age, they like it, I guess. I don't know. pull my tobacco bowl out of the freezer. Perfect. Hey, Facebook. I pulled my tobacco pipe out of the freezer after the final step of treating it. And it's a little bit cold, but it's not super hot. That's looking good, man. That's a good looking tobacco pipe, if I do say so myself. Look at that, Facebook. Look at that. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. Take just a little bit of heat. Take my lighter and heat up the bowl here. Kind of treat it. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now I want to let my pipe, I want to let my tobacco pipe cool off in the air naturally. And I want to avoid smoking out of it for a couple hours, just so it has a chance to cure completely. Yeah. I would smoke out of it, but I want to give it a couple more hours to dry just to be on the safe side. I mean, it's dry right now, but I'm going to let it cure to the wood completely before I smoke out of it. But yeah, that's a gorgeous looking tobacco pipe. Dude, I am beyond thrilled with the results of this. That is looking way good. Yeah. And after heat treating it with the water and the freezing it, it's a lot less sticky, and yeah. I'm not going to set it down in my ashtray because it's still drying, but it's pretty dry for the most part. But like I said, I'm going to let the pipe warm up to room temperature before I smoke out of it, just to avoid it cracking or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But I assure you that, you know, if I'm not live after a couple minutes, I'll go live on Facebook and smoke out of it when it's done, like drying completely and stuff. It's dry enough now where I can handle it, but fuck it. Something's telling me it should be fine to smoke out of. Call it a gut instinct, but something's telling me it should be fine to smoke out of. Someone's telling me it should be fine to smoke out of. Call it a gut instinct. All right. Got a full bowl of tobacco in my brand new, freshly restained pipe. What up, YouTube? Check this out. You recognize this pipe? Do you recognize it? Probably not, because I restained it. But this is the pipe I normally smoke out of. But here's the thing, slick. My tobacco pipe needed some work done on it. Originally, I couldn't even stick my whole pinky in there. I go to pack a bowl of tobacco, and even before packing it, I could only get to the tip of my pinky inside the bowl. So last night, I took a drill bit, like two to three different drill bits, and very carefully and methodically drilled out the wall of my tobacco pipe so that I can now stuff a full bowl of tobacco in here. I was very careful not to stab my hand or drill through the bottom or anything like that, and I did it just right. Like, not only did this pipe hold more tobacco, but after that, I took a very light sandpaper and I sanded off that brown finish, and I took paper towels and I stuffed them into the hole right here, into my stem hole, and I kept the stem out while I did it. And then I spray painted it a rich dark green. And yeah, that tobacco stuck on my side of my bowl. But yeah, and then after I spray painted it, I let it dry for a couple hours. And then I submerged my tobacco pipe in water, microwaved it for 6 minutes and 66 seconds, and at 3 minutes and 33 seconds, I had to flip it to the other side so both sides of the pipe could get an even heat treatment. Then after it got done microwaving, I stuck it in the freezer for a couple minutes to get cold. And going from hot to cold, basically, it shocked the wood of the pipe. And it's dry enough where it's not going to get all over my hands. I mean, it's a little bit sticky, but other than that, you know, as I smoke out of it and the bowl heats up, that stickiness will come off, and I have a dark green pipe, basically. Yeah. Not too shabby, YouTube. Not too shabby at all. Matter of fact, I'm doing a Facebook Live video right now. Here, see if the camera will focus. Hold on a second. There we go. Oh, maybe. Trying to get the camera to focus on Facebook Live. It's not doing it, but that's all right. Anyways, smoking on my new pipe for the first time. Okay, it's not brand spanking new, but it's got a new finish on it. and I fixed the bowl so that I fixed my tobacco pipe bowl so that it actually holds a full bowl of tobacco. It wasn't doing that before. Oop. I'll fucking drop my pipe tool. Classic. Okay. Oh yeah. I fixed my pipe all right. This thing smokes beautifully. Look at that, YouTube. I got me a black and green tobacco pipe. Ah, yeah. I basically took a very light grit sandpaper to sand the finish off so I could repaint it. But yeah, that turned out pretty smooth. I like that. And the only problem with using spray paints is that it's it's going to be a little bit sticky while it dries for the most part. But other than that, it pretty much did what it was supposed to do. So I figured I'd smoke a bowl out of it real quick, show you what I did to it. Yeah, I restained my tobacco pipe. Show did. That looks good. That looks damn good. Kudos to me, I guess. After this bowl, I'm going to avoid smoking out of this pipe for the rest of the day if I can, just so that it has time for that stickiness to go down. And it will. It's not super sticky, it's very slightly sticky. And there's parts of it that are smooth. Like it's drying to the point where there's parts of it that aren't sticky, and there's parts of it that are smooth, and there's parts of it that are slightly kind of got a little, you know. But yeah, that turned out way good. A lot better than I expected, to be honest. Fuck yeah. That's looking good, YouTube. That tobacco pipe's looking way good. Oop. Okay, that little speck right there, if I can get that off. I can't, damn it. Okay, so is it perfect? Damn near, but that little tiny bit right there, yeah. I mean, it's gonna have nicks in the finish. It's not gonna be entirely perfect, but this is better than I could have expected. Avoid putting it anywhere near my ashtray and stuff, so I don't get ash in it while it's still drying, because it's still kind of sticky. And yeah, I want to avoid letting that thing near my ashtray until it's completely done drying. And by the end of the day, this pipe should be done drying completely. But you see what I'm saying by it's still sticky? You know what I'm saying? Because normally when you have a tobacco pipe in your hand, you shouldn't be able to have it stick to your hand like that. Just saying. But yeah, by the time it's done drying, it won't stick to my hand like it does. Oh, shit. Good thing that wasn't going. Okay. But yeah. Examine it. That's looking good, YouTube. That's looking way good. But there you have it. My brand new restained pipe. Until then, this is KingCobraJFS with another video showing off my my new pipe. Well, it's not new, but I restained it, and it looks good. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all on the flip side. Alright. Well, I have, this is the kind I got right now. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scoop the tobacco out of my pipe here. It's all ash now. Now it's clear, unclogged. Good to go. I'm going to set my pipe down on my desk here so that set my pipe down on a clean surface. There we go. Just like that. Set my pipe down on a clean surface and let it finish drying up. All right, let's go to YouTube right quick. And I'll upload that video I just made. It's gonna compress the video. Then once it compresses the video, then all I gotta do is let it upload. Oh yeah, if you're just joining me, here's the final result. I'm letting it dry on a clean surface on top of my desk right now. That tobacco pipe look good. Look way good. Let's see, it's almost done compressing. It's almost done compressing. Okay. Restained my tobacco pipe. Publish. Okay, it's processing and uploading now. All right, Scott, I will definitely do that. Well, I'll catch you cool cobras on the flip side. Thanks for watching.